everybody, this is Tin Keta from ABCM1-1 and you are now tuning into Power Talks, where knowledge is power. This podcast will talk about the power of arts for art lovers who are listening out there. And this podcast was brought to you by Jollibee. So Jollibee, bida ang saya. Today, I am with Madame Jesinaya, who is an art major. She will discuss everything about modernism. Thanks for joining us, Jez.
It's an honor to be here, Tin. Thanks for inviting me.
How are you doing? How is it going with everything?
Things have never been better, Tin. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. Anyway, let's get to the point of this podcast and tell us everything there is need to know about modernism. So, what is modernism? So, what are the examples of arts in modernism?
Modernism is a period that started in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, specifically in the early 1900s and continued until the early 1940s. Modernism was both a break with the past and an attempt to develop new methods to express ourselves via literature, visual art, and architecture, dance, and music. During the early 20th and late 19th centuries, new ways of thinking and producing emerged. Modernism, which influenced art, fashion, literature, and ideas, caused a significant societal transformation. Modernism in art includes a wide range of techniques, forms, and materials. However, the primary functions of the movement, which were a rejection of past and traditional ideas like realism, abstract shapes, colors and lines, and concentration on new tools and techniques, remain true in the art that developed from it.
Thank you, Jess, and we will be right back after this short break.
Tinatamad na ba ikaw maggawa ng mga assignment mo? Pwes, eto na ang sagot para sa iyo.
Mahiwagang Omitrix.
And you're still tuning into Power Talks. Time check, it is now 2:30 in the afternoon. And for our next guest, let's hear it from Daddy Sergi, who is an artist himself. He will talk about the examples of arts in modernism and its artists. What's up, Jay? How is it hanging?
I'm doing good and thriving.
So, what are the examples of arts in modernism?
First on our list, we have the Cafe Concert by Edouard Manet that was painted between 1878 to 1880. The Cafe Concert shows us the conflicting social classes of Paris. Cafes were the place to be for modern, mingling, and conversation. In one establishment, both men and women, and poor and rich, would be seen talking to one and enjoying the same entertainment. Edouard Manet captured this intermingling in the Cafe Concert. Second on our list, we have The Railway by Edouard Manet that was painted between 1832 to 1873. Edouard Manet's Railways depicts modern life in Paris during 1873. He chose to feature his favorite model, Victorine Morent, assessing the viewer in a simple navy blue twill dress, book in hand and pappy in left. She is seated alongside a little girl clad in a white springtime dress with an oversized blue sash, whose back is turned to the viewer as she is observing the Gare Saint Lazare on a warm day. The looseness of brushstrokes in this painting is also a symbol of the modern world. The background of this painting features the Gare Saint Lazare, which is the largest and busiest train station in Paris. Yet, it is essentially unrecognizable due to the amount of fog. Also, Manet uses dress to define the different stages of women's lives. Both of the figures' dresses features a color combination of white and either a navy or pale blue, deemed to be fashionable during 1873.
Thank you, G, but for a while we will interrupt you for a short break.
Tinatamad ka na ba sa mga ginagawa mong mga assignment? Wish, ito na ang kailangan mo. Halina't mamatay. Joke lang yun. Huwag kayong muna. Huwag yung gagayahin mga bata. Ha?
Akala ko ikaw ay akin, totoo sa aking paningin, ngunit ang ika'y yakapin, naglalaho sa dilim.
Welcome back to Power Talks, and now we will continue our discussion from earlier.
Third on our list we have Le Demi-Muselle d'Avignon by Pablo Picasso that was painted in 1907. This painting was painted in 1907 and is the most famous example of Cubism painting. In this painting, Picasso abandoned all known form and representation of traditional art. He used distortion of the female's body and geometric forms in an innovative way, which challenged the expectation that paintings will offer idealized representation of female beauty. It also shows the influence of African art on Picasso. It demonstrates the true genius and novelty of Picasso's passion. The mask in the painting reflects Picasso's obsession with primitive art, not only of American origin, but also the art of an ancient Iberia or modern-day Spain and Portugal. In title of the artwork, Avignon refers not to the city and province, but to the name of a street in Barcelona, in a district known for prostitution. Last on our list, we have Girl Saint Lazare by Claude Monet, that was painted in 1877. Girl Saint Lazare is considered to be one of the iconic Monet painting because here the artist depicts signs of Industrial Revolution, an event that forever changed European society and was the cause of fundamental changes in all aspects of European life, including the arts. Depicts one of the passenger platforms of the Gare Saint-Lazare, one of Paris' largest and busiest train terminals. The painting is not so much a single view of a train platform. It is rather a component in a larger project of a dozen canvases which attempts to portray all facets of the Gare Saint-Lazare.
Thank you, G. And for our last guest, we have Matt, who is an art professor and lecturer from Emilio Aguinaldo College. He will talk about the importance of modernism and its influence on the society.
Thank you so much for having me. Before I start, I just wanted to talk about the word modern itself. When we say modern, we often think of something that is new or something that is the latest. However, we also invoke the idea that what is new or recent is better than what is older. However, when we talk about art, modern art in our case, a collection of movements of artistic ideas from artists such as Claude Monet, Picasso, and such comes in mind. Basically, the main idea of modernism is to change perception and break the conformities that are remembered and revered. They rejected traditional art and decided to do their own styles that reflected their personalities, as not just artists, but visionaries. However, a lot contradicts this idea. For a while, there hasn't been a single artistic movement where everyone disagrees. This has been the norm ever since. In this period, modernism is an explosive formal experiment. We can see this in many declarations of a particular artistic movement throughout this period. Movements such as Impressionism, Symbolism, Cubism, Expressionism, and Futurism. If the modern period movement, where the isms discussed, brought a new perspective within art, this is closely relative to our society. Politics, for example. Every time a new leader or president occupies the seat, there will be people who will disagree on his or her way of running a country. This is where we begin to see some of our modern political ideologies develop. We gain socialism, fascism, capitalism, etc. Each of these many political ideologies are somehow believed by many people to take humanity to a best place or utopia. It can push human progress upwards or downwards. The same can be implied with the artistic movement in modern art. When we talk about modernism, it's not about a particular movement but a group of movements, from Impressionism to Cubism in art to anarchism and socialism in politics. It is a period of history. Not only that, modern artists also gave the people an idea of the world back then as they see it. Considering the advent of photography at that time, it only gave the people a picture, where modern artists painted in a clearer way. The modern art movement also influenced the development of modern architecture. It utilizes a new style of art and technologies such as steel, glass, concrete, and iron to build architecture. Uh, Architects started using the modern styles to add aesthetics to the buildings and using various themes. These modern architectural styles have been embraced by the office buildings, commercial complexes, and residential buildings. Overall, modernism has taught us to go beyond our comfort zone and try new things to discover. So, yeah, it influences us in many ways, and many of us did not know.
Thank you, Matt. And again, I am Teen Ketwag, your host for today's podcast. Power Talks, where knowledge is power. See you on our next episode. Bye!